In this video, you're going to learn exactly how to create 100 new leads per month for your real estate business. And why is that an important number? Why is 100 leads generated in a single calendar month an important number? Well, that's because that gets you to about 2 to 3 deals per month internally generated. Whether you're flipping, developing, wholesaling, you're an agent, 2 to 3 deals internally generated per month is where the needle really starts to move in understanding direct to seller acquisitions, building your team around it, and ultimately double or tripling your business. So if you're new to the business or you're already experienced, you've been in it for 2 to 3 decades, this is a video you're going to want to watch top to bottom, beginning to end, to understand how to create 100 leads per month for your real estate business. That's kind of the starting goal to really start building and scaling and growing and doing all of the things that are so important in a real estate business that's focused on direct to seller acquisition. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Cole Ruud-Johnson. I've been in the real estate space since 2017. All I focused on is one problem: doing direct to seller deals. And that is not a $10,000 problem. That is not a $20,000 problem to solve. That is a $4 million problem to solve. And I'll explain why. Let's say you pay an average of $10,000 on assignment fees and you're doing 20 deals per year. That's $200,000 per year. And you have a 20-year career. That's $4 million. Let's say you do 25% of that volume. That's still $1 million problem to solve. So the question to ask yourself is it worth watching this video to the end to solving $1 million problem for yourself? Is it worth exploring how to solve this for your company with it being $1 million problem? I say yes. What do you say? Well, if you watch this video, you've already answered it, whether you believe that or not. So let's get right into the video. And if you're new to my channel here, I do quite a bit of visual learning stuff here. So you'll see a lot of that if you go back and watch previous videos. But how do we generate 100 leads per month? Well, the first thing we have to look at is marketing strategy at its core root. There's 2 types of marketing channels in the real estate business. You don't get a lot of referral business. You do sometimes, but it's not often. You have outbound marketing and you have inbound marketing. So more outbound marketing is, in this space, you'll hear people talk about cold calling, SMS. Some people do ringless voicemail. You'll hear people talk about, I consider door hangers, door knocking, that kind of stuff is outbound marketing. So outbound marketing, at its core root, we're just going to talk about really cold calling. That's really the easiest one, the most compliant one out there. So at its core root, the pros of outbound marketing are you're going to get a lot of leads. You're going to get a low cost per lead, which means you're going to get a lot of reps and practice, which means that you are going to get a ton of experience. The cons are the sales cycle can be a little longer. And sometimes the lead can be a little colder and require more nurturing. Inbound marketing, and we've done every type of this. That's things like direct mail, pay-per-click, SEO, pay-per-lead, Facebook ads, radio ads, TV ads, billboards, right? Anything that creates an inbound opportunity, someone that calls you. So the way to really differentiate these is you're initiating the activity over your interaction over here. You're letting the seller initiate the activity over here. Mail can kind of be put in either bucket, but I kind of keep it in that inbound marketing bucket a lot. So those are the pros and cons, right? So if we go back into here, the pros of inbound marketing are going to have typically a slightly shorter sales cycle. The cons are more expensive, less reps. So if you're trying to build a sales team, it's very hard to build it only on inbound marketing because they're lacking a lot of reps and a lot of things they need to get experience and become really good at what they do. So that's marketing strategy. So in this example, I'm going to use cold calling as what we're going to build this around. So we want to get 100 leads per month with cold calling. I believe it's a great way for your sales team and you to get reps, to build your skills, to build your understanding of the business, or if you're already in the business, to build your sales process. But we want to talk about one thing today, and that's how to create 100 leads per month. So 100 leads per month with cold calling. Well, let's do the math, right? If we do the math on this, 100 leads per month with cold calling, we are going to need essentially, if we assume 25 working days in the month, so business days, we are going to need 4 leads per business day to get to our goal of 100 leads in the month. So if we need 4 leads per business day on an average cost of lead of about $60, we are going to be spending $6,000 or so in marketing to be in a healthy range for outbound marketing cost. We can expect a 4 to 6x ROAS. If you're not that good yet, you can be more like a 3x, but let's say 4x to be conservative. So we want to do $24,000 plus on that spend, but I believe 100 leads per month can really get you to 2 contracts, somewhere more in that range. So if you can get 2 contracts per month, so 2 contracts per 100 leads, that would be more like an average deal size of $15,000, $30,000 or so, which would give you a 5x ROAS. And where most of our clients, which you can see down below at Easy Button Leads, Easy Button Investor, Most of them do get that closer to that 5x return on ad spend. So with understanding the numbers, let's say the first thing we need to figure out, and we do this for our clients, but I want you guys to understand every part of this process. We got to understand data and skip tracing. And I think there's the golden list with outbound marketing. And I call that golden list a tier 3 list, which means you stack your data in a software like REI Sift. You skip trace your data and you look for data with 3+ indicators of sale. That's a tier 3 list. So you would go buy a tax delinquency list, a vacant list, an absentee out of state list from something like PropStream. You'd skip trace it using a service like Easy Button Skip Trace. And then you would put it all into your REI Sift to stack your data. And you look for people. It'll tell you who shows up on more or on 3 lists or more. And you do that all inside of REI Sift. You can also do that inside of Simply, which is a CRM. You can do that inside of PropStream, but I like REI Sift. I think it's a very easy to use platform. So that's the first step. The other list types, right? You have your absentee out of state list. It's a great list. You have your absentee in state. You have your vacant list. You have your tax delinquent list. You have your probate list, your pre-foreclosure list, and the list goes on, right? But those are your other lists as well. What we're trying to do is per cold caller. So if we hire through a company like the one below this video, Easy Button Leads, Easy Button Investor, per cold caller, about $12,000 to $20,000 records per month. But for you, if you want to create 100 leads per month, you're going to need equivalent of, call it 3 cold callers probably. So let's go 3 cold. You're going to need about 40,000 records per month to compliantly dial. And that means, looking at DNC records and compliantly dialing those records. So we need about 40,000 compliant records to dial per month to reach our goal of 100 leads per month. And what that ends up looking like is really to get that 3 to 4 leads per day averaged out across the month. If you're going to cold call internally, you're going to do this in-house. You can use something like Batch Dialer to make the dials yourself or with your team. But the goal is 3 to 4 leads per day averaged out across the month. If we can do that, if we can average 3 to 4 leads per day across the month in its entirety, we'll get to our 100 leads goal, get to a couple contracts, which I believe is escape velocity in this business. So if you're new to my channel, I give away a ton of information like this on growing your ideal real estate business, doing direct to seller acquisitions. And down below, there's a link to a $27 a month community with hundreds of real estate investors, hundreds of hours of trainings, live calls, one-on-one business plans with my team, and much more for $27 a month. There's nothing out there like it. And I'd love to get to know you on the other side of that. Also down below is Easy Button Leads, where you can get unlimited leads for your business done for you, completely white glove service. And as always, if you haven't yet, you can listen to my podcast wherever you listen. That can be Spotify, that can be Apple Podcasts. Subscribe here on YouTube, and you can find me at Cole Ruud-Johnson on every social media platform from Twitter to TikTok and everything in between. Until next time, just remember, you're only one deal away.